Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a pick a card reading for the time frame ahead. There are no signs attached to it, so only take it if it resonates for you. I'm going to just leave it open, just whatever message wants to come through as being a general message for you. So I will pick the cards. And I'll hold them up in just a minute. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps in the description box below. So for group 1, we have the Antelope, Shake, Release, Heal, Move On. It's number 27. For group 2, we have the Sea Turtle and the Land Turtle. Small Steps, Big Accomplishments, number 8. And for group 3, we have the Fox, Almost There, number 44. So I'll hold up all three so that you can compare group 1, group 2, and group 3. And you'll find the timestamps in the description box below. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So we're going to just pull some general messages for you if you pick this group. I wasn't planning on doing a pick a card today, but that's just what's wanting to come through. So for group 1, what general messages want to come through? The unseen. The unseen. There's something happening that you are not seeing at the moment. It's happening sort of in spiritual realms. I feel like there is guidance here for you, but you have to trust in it. It sometimes comes through as like putting the pieces together, because maybe you're receiving a lot of like signs and synchronicities and things like that, but that are sort of disjointed. And having to like put the signs together, the pieces together, in order to create the overall picture. The Temple, very interesting. That card talks about what is it that you focus on, like what is sacred to you. It talks about like your connection to sacredness. So there may be something about like connection. All of these cards are talking about sort of like your connection to source or the universe. Your connection to source or the universe is, I feel like changing in some way. It kind of feels like it's shifting. Like it's kind of like maybe you're seeing new signs. Maybe you're because our language with the universe is always shifting and changing. So paying attention to like what you're being drawn to is kind of how it's coming through. I feel like maybe colors are very significant for you. Like maybe you're seeing like different colors that are drawing your attention, which could be the universe's way of communicating something to you. I feel like there's sort of like wait, what does the Temple card say? One second. So the temple might be as simple as stepping into the dappled light of the forest, slowly and sensuously kissing a lover or closing your eyes to travel inward. This card is a call to re-examine what you pay homage to and what you reject. What do you spend your time worshipping? What barriers do you draw between yourself and the sacred? Perhaps there is room on your altar for something new, something surprising. So it does talk about what it is that you worship, quote unquote. perhaps there's like something sort of new coming in terms of like it's going to be something that you consider sacred. I'm getting kind of like an energy of like creative expression as well. That's related to that. I feel like I'm not going to use this deck anymore. Okay. I feel like there's something about creative expression. Like there's some sort of like new creative expression for you that is actually like heightening your connection to the universe, which is interesting. So it could be some form of art, but it doesn't have to be that exactly. Anything where it's like you're creating things or you're tapping into creativity, whatever that means to you, that is coming through as being sort of like a sacred energy, like something that connects you to your sacredness or your connection to source, which is interesting. What is this unseen energy? The money path. Interesting. A path of money is waiting for you to find it, but it's unseen. You're not seeing it yet, maybe. You have to put the pieces together, is how it's feeling to me. Protection from a powerful friend. This also feels like it's unseen. There's like you have protection from a powerful friend that perhaps you're not seeing. So this could be something like someone who's passed or somebody that you have a very spiritual connection with. What's this temple? There's something unseen about it. Why is it unseen? Older man, dealings or relationship with an older man. Could be like somebody who passed, an older man, like a grandfather or uncle or something, who has passed, that's providing protection in sort of the unseen realms. Has something to do with money though. Interesting. It's like they're leading you, they're leading you to something about money. Okay. The temple. It kind of feels almost like a treasure hunt. Like you may be seeing like signs and synchronicities that are leading you sort of in like a treasure hunt kind of thing. I feel like you have to use your intuition though in order to find this money path. Cobweb. You're protected from negative forces beyond your control. Interesting. So with the dog here, you're being protected from something. And negative forces beyond your control. An older woman. That's really interesting. I've never seen these two cards come out together in a reading before. Older man, older woman. Are these like grandparents or something? Or parents for some of you? Yeah, maybe you have like ancestors or something from who have passed who are protecting you from something that's outside of your control. Why is the temple here? Maybe there's some sort of offering or prayer. Unsuccessful plans. Okay, so I would pay attention to if there are plans that are unsuccessful that are happening for you. Like maybe there's something where it's like you are trying to get something done but it's not working or something. That may actually be a form of protection for you. It could be something like that. Can I have one more card? Dog far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. So it could be something where it's like, and you have your broken ring as well. Parting of the ways in either romance or business. Interesting. Okay, so if, let's say like maybe it's like you had plans with a friend or something that were unsuccessful. Like maybe like the plans fell through, or I don't know, something was unsuccessful there. It's actually kind of coming through as being like, that there was an unseen energy that was protecting you from going down that path. Because maybe you have some sort of money path opportunity instead that you're supposed to be sort of paying attention to, is kind of how it's feeling to me. The Fool, but it sort of came out in reverse. Yeah, you're on the brink. You're on the brink of it, is what's going through. You're on the brink of this money path. I feel like it's unexpected even for you. I don't know. Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Because these two cards are kind of looking similar to me. Page of Pentacles and the Fool. It's kind of like you are at the moment here where there's a money path for you, but you're not seeing it because the Fool's in reverse, right? So the Fool in reverse is kind of coming through as being like, because this Page of Pentacles comes through with a bit of a melancholy energy for me for some reason. Like, it's almost like they're standing at the same place, but in the, like, it's almost like there's a filter or something placed over your landscape so that you can't see the money path or the path of abundance. I'm just going to call it like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but the path of abundance. You're on it is how it's looking to me, but there's some sort of like filter that is preventing you from seeing that in some way. So it's almost like maybe there's, you're in the right place, but maybe it's not the right time, which is interesting. You're in the right place, but it's not time yet. Like, it's kind of coming through as being like in the Hobbit movies where there's a door that leads them into the mountain of their home. They're standing at the door, but they can't find the keyhole. And that's because the keyhole only appears when, like, the moon comes out. It's kind of coming through like that. Like, you're in the right place, but it's not quite time yet. It hasn't been revealed yet. So don't turn away is how it's coming through. Like, don't turn away yet. Don't give up on it yet. I feel like there's something here about like you have to wait until something is revealed. Page of Wands, 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Ace of Wands. Look at all these wands. You have 2 pages here already. 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Ace of Wands. Okay, look at this. Like, it's kind of like the 7 of Wands, right? And then the 6 of Wands and the Ace of Wands, where it's like you have the Ace of Wands is sort of blocking the path into victory. What is this Ace of Wands, though? It feels like there's some sort of like creative solution that's sort of coming through. Because it's kind of like, okay, if we talk about creativity, for example, Like how scientists measure creativity. One of the studies and the tests that they use for creativity is like they give you like a paper clip, right? They say, here's a paper clip. Try and find as many different uses for the paper clip that you can. And so they just leave the person to sort of like brainstorm different uses for a paper clip that are not sort of holding paper together, right? That kind of thing. So the more creative a person is means that they have more ideas generated for like how to use a paper clip. It could be something like that where it's like you have the resources in front of you, but you have to shift how you see the paperclip. It's not just a paperclip. It's a piece of metal. It's flexible. You can bend it into different shapes. It's kind of coming through like that. There's some sort of like, you have to like, the money path is being blocked by, or whatever. The path to abundance is being blocked by some form of like, maybe the paperclip is the key or something like that. I don't know. Like you have to like twist the paperclip around. I don't know what that means energetically. That's just sort of how I'm seeing this. It is going to require a bit of creativity and like seeing things not as they are, right? Seeing things not as they are with the unseen. You have to almost like put a different filter on it. What are you being protected from? Knight of Swords. The Hierophant, yeah. Traditional thinking is what's coming through. I feel like there's like a very traditional path that you are being protected from. Like traditional thinking, like this can't be done that way because that's not how we've done it in the past. Like it's that kind of energy of like the word predetermined is coming through. Pre-programmed beliefs, it could be. Perhaps from an older woman. Whoever that is for you, like perhaps there was an older, it feels like an older woman because it came out with the cobweb that perhaps had like particular beliefs about what was possible and what's not, that kind of thing. It could be a grandmother or just a mother if they're sort of in their older years. What it is that they believe is possible. It feels like you're being protected from going down the same path. Being protected from going down the same path as whoever this older woman is. Who is this older woman for you, group 1? Ten of Pentacles, Five of Swords. Okay. There was this Cancer Sun reading I did a few months ago now. I'll link it above because I feel like it has something to do with this reading. It may resonate for you at this time. So I'll link it above. Your choice if you want to watch it. But it feels like here, you have the Five of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. It's kind of coming through as being like you walked away from a Ten of Pentacles. You left a Ten of Pentacles energy. That is coming through as being like you're actually being protected from that path. That perhaps has to do with an older woman in whatever way that is for you. So I don't know why. There's something about that path that is not in alignment with you, perhaps. So what is the path that group 1 should be going down? It kind of comes through as being like lots of wands. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. It's this is a confirmation about what it is that you are being protected from. It's an energy of like a feeling of like not having enough or not being satisfied with what you have. Not being satisfied with what you have. There may be an energy around you that is in that space where it's like they feel like they never have enough. That's sort of coming through as the path that you're being protected from. Feeling like you never have enough. Feeling you like you always need more and more and more in order to feel any sort of like satisfaction or abundance, which is interesting. Anyways, what's the path that group 1 is supposed to go towards with the 6 of Wands, Ace of Wands? I keep hearing it's not time yet. It's like something else has to be revealed. What has to be revealed? You're not going to tell me. What has to be revealed? Can I have one more card, please? Temperance. Temperance. Just wait. Just wait for it. Oh my gosh. Okay, King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Just wait for it. Something else has to be revealed. Perhaps you need to figure something out here, like, because it's kind of like not as like you need to do, like it's kind of just like there's something about like finding what this Ace of Wands is. It's like there may be something in your environment that you're not seeing as a solution to this, because it's kind of like you have to rearrange the paperclip in some way, because that's the key. I don't know what that means for you though. It's gonna require creativity or like creative thinking, creative problem solving, and patience. I feel like there's sort of this energy here of like just trying things, just seeing what works for you. There's something about like your intuition as well is going to lead you there, because it's almost like logically, if you try and like think your way out of it, it's not going to happen, because it's kind of like you don't know what the solution is. So it's kind of like even if you try to think about it or like reason your way through something, it requires actually an intuitive jump is how it's coming through, like doing something like really, really different, but that comes from your intuition. And so that only comes from like I feel like maybe you do have a guide here who's like helping you with the unseen to make some sort of like intuitive jump or leap or a shift in like your creative mindset maybe that will help you to unlock the door. But you are protected in this. It's like, be patient. Be patient, group 1. I feel like you're in the right place. You're in the right place, but maybe it's not time yet, or that like more has to be revealed, or you have to like work with sort of like the materials that you have in a very creative way is how it's coming through. Okay, yeah. Shake, release, heal, and move on. I'm going to read this one because this one has like a very Important message. Okay. Shake, release, heal, move on. Antelope. Antelope stands on the savannah, enjoying a cool breeze. In the blink of an eye, Cheetah pounces and mounts Antelope's back, making him freeze with fear and become immobilized. Any specter would assume Antelope is dead. Cheetah drags Antelope's limp body to a shaded area to begin her feast, but is interrupted by a gang of hyenas. Cheetah, now focused on protecting her food, abandons Antelope to address the approaching hyenas. It is in this moment that Antelope's body will conduct the genius of its intelligence. Still unconscious, Antelope's stomach begins to rise and fall with deep breaths, his body shaking and quivering. Antelope opens his eyes, clumsily rises to his hooves, and bursts into the most powerful run of his life. Antelope's body saves his life. This card is inspired by Dr. Peter Levine's study on animals in the wild and the ability of movement to release and dispel trauma and anxiety from the body. Often, after the immobility phase of terror, the animal shakes and quivers before returning to full consciousness and running away. The shaking and running are a physiological response to discharge the trauma energy from the nervous system. The genius of the body's movement is that the animal then does not have to suffer the debilitating effects of post-traumatic stress disorder. The only creatures that do not instinctually exhibit this behavior of shaking to release trauma are humans and animals in captivity. Antelope's medicine is literally telling you to move. One powerful technique is to set an intention before and during your exercise routine. For example, before you go on a jog, you would say, "This movement is for me to let go of this resistance inside and overcome my current obstacle." During your run, you would repeat this over and over again. If you're about to do a yoga session, you might continuously repeat, "I'm dedicating this yoga practice to releasing my trauma, stepping into my power, and falling deeply in love with myself and life." Connecting intention with movement yields powerful results. So group 1, your guidance is, I feel like there's something that like you have to release from like your physical body. Perhaps it could also be like your energetic body, perhaps from a past trauma or wounding or situation that you're like healing at the moment. And it's like, I feel like there's something about like the filter in which you're like seeing your situation at the moment may still have this energy attached to it of like anticipating hyenas, for example, or cheetahs or whatever, like anticipating a predatory kind of energy. And so that might be affecting like your ability to like see the solution or see the newness or the goodness that's available to you. So there may be something here about like having an intention of releasing something from your system in whatever way that is. With the temple as well, it could also have to do with like finding some sort of like new sacred practice that you engage with that assists with this process. So group 1, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye. Hi group 2, let's get started with your reading. So we're going to pull cards. I haven't pulled them yet. We're going to pull them together on camera. So group 2. The Father. It's interesting. I got a flash of this card as it was falling out of the deck, and I thought it said the Mother. I thought it was the Mother card, but it's the Father today. Interesting. Okay, so it's kind of coming through with like two extremes, like two sides of a story, maybe like two sides of a story or two sides of a person. Perhaps there's shadow energy coming through with like your masculine energy, like shadow, like working with the shadow aspects of masculine energy within yourself. The The father embodies both light and dark aspects of the masculine, thus he is infinitely dynamic and complex. His energy is strong and regal, embodying such virtues as honesty, wisdom, and loyalty. Yet ironically and simultaneously, the father is often absent, literally or emotionally. Through absence or action, the father eventually reveals he is neither a king nor a god, but a human being with many flaws and wounds. He is both the guardian and the one who leaves us to the wolves, here yet gone, the champion and the failure. The father can never resolve or escape this duality. It is inherent in the archetype itself. Witnessing the father's limitations allows the child to grow beyond the family and into the world. See the father as a pattern, not as personal. So there could be something here, because it is coming through with Saturn energy. This sort of like dynamic of like having a lot of discipline and structure, which sort of helps us to grow, right? Like helps us to learn new things, helps us to like commit to a path. And then sort of like the opposite, which would be sort of like the absence, the disappearance, the disappointment, that kind of thing. There's kind of like a dynamic happening between both, and both are necessary for growth is how it's coming through. So that's sort of the energy that you're working with, group 2. And the mask, interesting, because this is also coming through with this aspect of duality, or like, because this card talks about sort of like exploring a different side of yourself through a mask. And it could be something about like anonymity, like not like doing something that where like nobody can see you, that kind of thing. That's sort of the mask energy, like expressing a form of expression that is sort of coming through where nobody else can see it, right? Nobody else is a witness to it. And so there's freedom in that, because there's like, this card actually talks about like being a very true, authentic version of yourself through wearing a mask, which is a very interesting dynamic. So that's the energy that you're working with. And of course the shadow at the bottom of the deck. So it could be that you're doing shadow work. It could be, especially with the father energy, because that one kind of comes through as being like your responsibilities, what it is that you're responsible for, like the things that you protect and grow and to an extent nurture as well, right? Like there's discipline. It is kind of coming through as responsibilities versus the mask, which is feeling like something that's entirely different, like a different side of your personality or expression, like how you express yourself. Finding freedom in some way from your responsibilities, maybe finding freedom from your responsibility, or like freedom from the role that you play in society, for example, or like the role that you engage in your regular like day-to-day life. So we often think of the mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. It allows. The mask gives voice to that which was previously rejected. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. You're taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception-bending time. Trust it. Especially with the shadow. Because this card talks about, like, things that we reject within ourselves. So it could be that you're exploring your shadow self, right? Like, an aspect of yourself that maybe is something that you haven't given voice to before, or, like, something that hasn't seen the light, so to speak, before. Exploring that aspect within you. And in that experience, it's revealing an aspect of your true self, right? But there may be sort of like a concealing energy still present here, because it could be something that, like, you're doing in private or by yourself, or, like, no one else knows about this part of you or something like that. You have your ink pot, problems to be resolved. The barrel, interesting. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. That's coming out under the father energy as well. And the dragon, beware of self-delusion. That's coming out under the mask, which is interesting. Beware of self-delusion. Okay, we need more cards on that one with the mask as well, because it could be that you're exploring a different side of yourself or a different expression. And there is, like, sort of illusions in this place is how it's feeling. There's illusions. Firecracker, excitement. Interesting. There could be something very exciting happening with this dragon energy. But maybe there's an aspect of yourself that's sort of, like, resisting that. What's the dragon firecracker? Tiger, doing something risky. Taking a chance. Inkpot and barrel. Because I am kind of seeing this, because all of these are talking about sort of like a void, an absence here. Inkpot and barrel. Some sort of it's kind of like something's been knocked over. Something's been emptied, I should say. Something has been emptied. Valley, deep personal strength that assures success. Deep personal strength and peace that assure success. Guaranteed success. Whatever it is that you're doing is guaranteeing is successful. It's going to be successful. It's interesting. It's kind of like somebody has, like, emptied something out. I don't know what that is for you. It's become sort of like a void space. I feel like maybe group 2, you're, like, exploring almost like an opposite version of you. I don't know how to describe that, because it's kind of coming through as, like, political in terms of, like, their different parties, right? So it's, let's say you've been one political party your entire life. It's almost like you're switching to the other party. That's kind of what it's looking to me like. That's sort of the vibe that it's giving me. Like, you're switching, whatever. It doesn't have to, it's probably not political party, but it could be something like that. But there's something about, like, it's integrating an aspect of your shadow. I feel like whatever the other aspect is that you're exploring is very exciting here with the tiger, the firecracker, the dragon. It's risky, but it's successful. Whatever this risk it is that you're taking, it's going to be successful. You have bowl at the bottom of the deck and pineapple. Plenty of material things and reconciliation. So it could be something about like, because you have plenty of material things here, like emptying something out to like make space for it is kind of, or make space for something new. For some reason, the word absence is coming through, like absence, like you're absent from something. Maybe you're like taking a break from work or something like that. Absent, being absent. Risky but successful. It's the risk is going to pay off. Okay, so you have Queen of Wands, King of Swords, Three of Swords. This is what I was saying with the opposites, right? Like Queen of Wands and King of Swords are opposite in every way, basically. Like King to the Queen, opposite. Wands to the Swords, which are opposite. And the Three of Swords, which is coming through as being like, okay. I feel like maybe you're also detaching from perhaps a father figure in some way. Maybe you're detaching from a father figure because you are in sort of this Queen of Wands energy is how it's feeling. There may be a separation happening in that way. Like perhaps there's an absence of this father figure. Whoever that is to you, doesn't necessarily have to be a father. With the Three of Swords. But it's allowing you to be more in this Queen of Wands energy. So it's kind of like, as I said with the emptying, like you're making space for something, but in the process it may be cutting out whoever this King of Swords is for you. And then you have your Page of Swords and the Death card. I feel like you're leaving behind a King of Swords, whatever that is for you. And moving into something new that feels risky and exciting. Okay. Interesting. Tower, Hanged Man, and the Queen of Swords. Death and the Tower together. So lots of Mars energy. Scorpio energy, I should say. There's like a rebirth and a new perspective here. What's this Queen of Swords? A rebirth and a new perspective through a mask energy. What's the Queen of Swords? I feel like that's not you, actually. Interesting. Five of Cups. The Chariot. There's movement. I feel like you are group 2. I feel like you are doing shadow work in a way where it's causing a lot of movement in your life, where it's like perhaps you're like getting rid of a lot of I don't know, with the dragon, it's kind of feeling like perhaps like a mindset that you have, or like, because that card talks about it talks about self-delusion. Is that what it says? Yeah, self-delusion. Like areas in your life where maybe you were not seeing something clearly, or that you were taking on somebody else's perspective. That's what it feels like. It could be getting rid of any sort of like perspectives that were not yours, that are not your own, that do not resonate with you, because that's how I normally see with the dragon self-delusion. It's not so much a card about like, oh, you're deluding yourself. That's not it's more so like you're taking on somebody else's perspective. That's how I see that dragon card. So it could be something where it's like you are removing perspectives that are not yours from, I don't know, from whatever situation this is. I feel like it's part of the challenge is learning how to depend on yourself in terms of like what it is that you are pursuing or exploring. Because it's kind of like, I feel like maybe you were putting too much faith in whoever this King of Swords is. Perhaps, like, maybe, like, listening to their ideas. Because King of Swords can be very sort of, like, has, like, I see that as Aquarius, like, very idea-focused, clarity, all of that. It could be that you were putting a lot of, like, faith in a King of Swords energy, whoever that is for you. Could be a father, but it doesn't have to be. But you're exploring almost like the opposite perspective is how it's coming through. The opposite perspective from whoever the King of Swords is. And it's causing a lot of change and shift in your life. I feel like it's giving you a new perspective. It's bringing in a lot of excitement. It feels kind of risky. I feel like it feels risky though because it's it goes against what it is that you knew in the past, right? So that's sort of how it's coming through. With the Queen of Swords, though, I feel like you are developing your own truth is how it's feeling. You're developing your own truth or what is right for you or your path that you are on. Six of Cups. You could be reclaiming something from the past as well. Like, Two of Pentacles. It feels like you're reclaiming something from the past, whatever that means for you. There's something here about Mars and Cancer, because that's sort of where we are right now. Mars and Cancer that is helping to align something for you, actually. Which is interesting, because there's not that many cups here, emotional energies. But I feel like, except the Six of Cups, though, I feel like maybe you're, like, clearing out some sort of, like, emotional, emotional delusion, maybe? Or, that sounds so bad. I don't want to say it like that. It feels more like, being confused or influenced by somebody else's perspective that is not your own. That's how it feels, but it was happening through like sort of an emotional emotional connection or tie. So with Mars and Cancer, because there was a lot of Mars energy with death and the Tower, Scorpio, Pluto as well, where it feels like you're like clearing out your emotional reservoirs. Because Cancer to me is a very like homey, self, security, like your own personal home, right? So it's kind of like you're clearing that aspect out emotionally, perhaps, and clearing out perhaps other perspectives that are not yours or that don't belong to you, or like things that are like, it just feels like clearing it all out, clearing everything out. Queen of Cups, yeah. You have 3 queens in this spread today, which is interesting. So it kind of feels like you're like, you're using sort of feminine energy. You're using feminine energy within yourself to heal and cleanse and remove like emotional perspectives that perhaps came from shadow masculine energies, if that makes sense. So you're in a feminine energy, clearing out emotional. Why do I keep getting stuck on that? Because it's not delusion. I don't want to use that because that word's so like, there's so much baggage that comes with that word. Emotional perspectives that are not yours is how I'm gonna put it. You're clearing out emotional perspectives that are not yours that may have come from shadow masculine energies, if that makes sense. 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Which is interesting because it feels risky. There with the Death and the Tower coming out like one right after another, it could be even quite like shocking or exciting with the firecracker to perhaps be embracing an energy that you were told all your life, for example, was like, you know, not good for you or whatever. It could be something like that. You're embracing something that somebody else told you was not good for you. Right? That could be something, but it actually is what I'm seeing. Like it's actually something that's beneficial to you or helping you or in alignment with your truth. Because you have guaranteed success here. Like it's successful. You got 3 cards. I'm going to put them back because I want just one. I want just one card that I can read for you. Group 2. Okay, so this one, okay, you have Victory and you have the Small Steps, but this one came out in the first round, so I'm going to read this one. It's this is the one that wants to come through, but you have the Victory card. Okay, group 2. I'm going to read the Small Steps, Big Accomplishments. It's kind of coming through like the first time this card came out, it came out with 2 others that I felt like weren't yours, right? Like it's like I just want one card for you. Did I say Cancer? There's a Cancerian energy in this reading today for you. But anyways, so it's kind of feeling like, again, like having to like sort out which energies are actually for you, when I feel like there's sort of like other energies that may be sort of like interfering or influencing the way that you're seeing something, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to read that card. Small Steps, Big Accomplishments, Turtle. Sea turtles migrate thousands of miles each year while swimming at a slow, methodical pace. The key medicine is that what you wish to manifest will take dedicated, consistent, and patient effort. Land turtle reinforces this message about the slow process towards your desire, further speaking to us about how grounded this point of view is. Nothing represents being grounded quite like the land turtle, built sturdy and close to Mother Earth. Small, consistent efforts will lead to long-lasting success. Be patient. Do not rush for immediate rewards. Understand that immediate gratification cannot sustain what is needed for long-term success. Shortcuts yield short-term success, and instant gratification is for the weak mind. Sea turtle is not instantly born in the sea swimming towards his goal. He first must build his muscles by slowly breaking out of the shell and journeying towards his desire to be in the great sea. Allow things to develop at their own pace and plan for a lengthy dedication towards your goal. This is a very promising card as it speaks to happy results. You're building something great and its full fruition needs time. Turtle's medicine shares that slow and steady efforts are the most important to you. Something powerful is in development. What is built slowly stands longer. Okay, and the victory card comes in very much with a similar message of like, you have victory. Victory is guaranteed for you, but it does require sort of showing up and doing all the things that you need to do in order to be victorious. It does require sort of like conscious, dedicated effort. I feel like here with the Two of Pentacles, that's what this is talking about. Building slowly, but doing all the things that you need to do in order to accomplish what it is for you. Group 2, I feel like right now, though, you're in the process of detangling, sort of like, or like sorting out what's yours, what's not yours. Like emptying out your emotional expectations even, perhaps. And perhaps like learning new things about what it is that you want. I feel like though for your energy, you're very much in a feminine energy, which is interesting. Like receiving, allowing, exploring, feels like. Anyways, I'm gonna end it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to pull cards together. What general messages want to come through for Group 3? We have the Poet. The Artist, the Witness, the Truth Teller. The poet's work is to feel immensely and not be afraid. They must seek out truth in the darkest corners of the world and carry it back for all to see. This unique capacity resides within us, regardless of our relationship to creativity. When the poet energy is present, there is a call for deep honesty and reflection, for seeing the big picture within the little one. The poet rides effortlessly between the personal and universal. It's possible that others may not seem to listen or care about the poet's work, but do not be discouraged. The words of the poet ring true for centuries to come, soothing the wounds of despair and violence that captivate our world. The poet's work is never finished. Find your voice and trust that the wind will carry it. Interesting. Was there a poet that you that you read as a child? That what was one of the messages on the sort of like footnotes of that description? I'm getting Shel Silverstein. I don't know if that's how you say his last name. Silverstein. He wrote sort of like these children's poetry books, which I loved as a kid. Where the Sidewalk Ends is one of them. They're sort of like fantastical, mystical poems for children. Where the sidewalk ends is what's coming through here. Interesting. And the Gnosis card. So I'm going to read the description for the Gnosis card. Innermost knowing, mystic truths. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures in scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling. Not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip towards mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of Gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Contemplating the mystery, unanswerable questions. Both of these cards are coming through as like very mystical sort of knowing that comes from actually having experienced something here with the poet and the Gnosis. There's something that you have experienced or something that you know to be true through your experience. I feel like you have the Siren at the bottom of the deck. Perhaps you are, because the poet to me talks about sort of like a process of transmuting one's like pain into something beautiful. That's how I see the poet energy, like taking something that perhaps an experience that was painful or dark in whatever way and transforming that into light so that others can see it, so that others can learn from it. It is sort of a transmutational process. With the Gnosis card as well, it is emphasizing like knowing or like seeking knowledge, trying to find the answer to something. Perhaps through your experience or perhaps through the experience of another as well. But you're seeking the answer to some question that hasn't been answered yet. Yeah, the handshake. Meeting with a stranger could be important. There could be somebody that you're meeting who can help you to transmute some sort of energy. Maybe they are a poet or are very poetic. Or it's coming through as like kind of like serendipity, like a serendipitous moment. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Yeah, it's kind of coming through as being like a serendipitous moment. Like you meet some person randomly and they have some sort of wisdom for you or guidance, or they help you with something, or it could be one of those things that sometimes happens to me where it's like I'm out somewhere, I'm just like in a store or something, and then I overhear, not that I'm eavesdropping, but I overhear a conversation that people are having around me, like if they're just close enough that I can listen, and it is actually sort of like a synchronicity for me. What it is that they're saying or what they're talking about, it's like confirmation or synchronicity, where it could be something like that. So it could be that you're interacting with someone and they tell something to you, perhaps a story with the poet that actually has some sort of truth or confirmation for you about something. Perhaps they're sharing wisdom, I don't know. Yeah, 4-leaf clover. It's lucky. Good, great fortune. And the vase, a secret admirer. What? Lovely cards. There's some sort of like interaction with a stranger or somebody that you don't know well, right? That is somehow bringing about good luck. They're a secret admirer, or there's like, it's also kind of coming through as being like, say there's somebody that you don't know well, but you would like to get to know them better, right? Like say you, I don't know, it doesn't have to be a stranger. It could just be like somebody at work that you don't know very well, but you would like to get to know them more. It's kind of coming through like that. Maybe you are a secret admirer. Perhaps they secretly admire you. I don't know. Flute. Disappointment in a friend or lover. And then you have the younger woman. So the flute is coming out under the poet. Disappointment in a friend or lover. So perhaps there's some sort of disappointment that you're working through, that you're trying to find like a new perspective on maybe, or that you're trying to transmute in whatever way with the poet. And I feel like there's something here about like, so perhaps there is somebody younger who has the answer for you. They have the answer for you. Four-leaf clover and the vase. Someone is going out of your life, or the end of a situation with the casket. Giving you closure on something, it feels like. Perhaps they're giving you closure on some sort of like disappointing situation. Lily, spiritual love, you have so many lovely cards. Work, achievement, and success. And then you have new job, career, pin. Interesting. So maybe there is some sort of ending that you're going through. Perhaps with work. Perhaps you're looking for a new job. There's someone here with an answer for you, or a solution, or something like that. Perhaps a younger woman. I feel like there's some disappointment, though. That sort of like disappointment in something that you're sort of working through, that perhaps it's not like the disappointment is preventing you from seeing this opportunity, or there's just like, I don't know. Here with the Magician is the first card out. Seven of Swords and the Devil. Okay. This Devil card talks about overcoming fears. I feel like there's something that you're trying to overcome. Some sort of like perhaps a pattern of self-sabotage here with the Seven of Swords. A pattern of self-sabotage that you're trying to overcome. There's fear associated with it though. Because the Seven of Swords can sort of talk about like doing something that is trying to protect yourself, but that's not actually helping you, right? It's actually like holding you back, like a protective behavior maybe that's holding you back from something, because there could be something that you fear about whatever this sort of next step is for you. Because now it's kind of coming through with the Fool, right? Like where the sidewalk ends. It's like there's nothing after the sidewalk. Interesting, because that if you look up the cover of that book, it kind of looks like the Fool card with there's like a cliff where the sidewalk ends. It's like what what's on the other side of the cliff. So perhaps there's sort of like a leap of faith. 3 of Wands. Yeah, there's something that you're trying to manifest, but it hasn't come through yet. That could be the disappointment energy. You're trying to manifest something, but it hasn't come through yet. So there could be a disappointment. 7 of Swords and the Devil. What's the fear here? The Lovers. And the 4 of Swords. Interesting. This is the first time I'm seeing this Lovers card. It seems like a fear of like an ending. With the 4 of Swords, like taking a break or ending something or moving on from something. There could be a fear of that from that and about that situation. Two of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Well, that's really positive. So there's this younger woman energy who is a 2 of Cups to you. And they have the Ace of Pentacles, right? I've said this in another reading. That these 2 cards complete one another. Like, what's missing from your manifestation is what this one has with the 2 of Cups. So there's some sort of relationship where it's like, whatever relationship this is, where it's like the 2 of you can put your resources together. But there's perhaps hesitation on your part, maybe, because it's like, perhaps there was a past disappointment. Perhaps there's something about like having to end something or take a break from something in order to do this. There's a fear associated with that, like fear of like stopping something, fear of the 4 of Swords, which could be like taking a break or resting or whatever. The Sun card. You have so many positive cards though here. Seven of Cups as well. So with the 7 of Cups, I feel like there's sort of like a hesitation or a fear of like the unknown in a way where it's like there's so many options here with the 7 of Cups. Because it could be that you're ending something. You're like taking a break from something, or you're putting it to rest, or a situation that was perhaps disappointing. But there's something about like... there is a new beginning here, but it requires you to take a leap of faith, perhaps with an individual, another person. It could be joining forces on something. Why is the Gnosis card here? 9 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Wands. Okay, so there may be something about like not feeling like sort of like you there's like two very independent energies here, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, where it's like there's like two very independent people. How would they join forces? That's sort of how it's coming through. It's like, especially with that secret admirer energy, there's kind of this energy of like, admiring someone or wanting to be friends with them or wanting to get to know them better, but it's kind of like there's a hesitation about like, this person would, it's not necessarily a rejection, but it's like, what would they think of it? What would they think of this proposal? What would they, maybe it is a fear of rejection. Who knows? Could be. There may be sort of like a fear of expectations as well. Fear of the other person's expectations of you. Fear about a mismatch is also what I'm hearing. 10 of Cups, though. You have nothing to worry about. It's kind of like you're admiring somebody from a distance. Somebody who I feel like has the potential to share a new beginning with you. But there's fear in overcoming that. Sort of like the Seven of Swords energy of like perhaps blocking yourself from this opportunity. It feels like it's going to be a yes, though. Whatever this is, it's going to be very beneficial to you. It's coming in with the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Cups, like a really happy, fulfilling, emotionally satisfying partnership. Because you have here the 9 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups in between. Like it feels like each person here is very sort of independent and strong on their own. But together would be the 10 of Cups. And the 4 of Wands. You have the Lovers here, right? Like, it's kind of like... but there's fear with the Devil that's sort of needing to be overcome. The fear is the self-sabotage, is how it's feeling to me. Like, being afraid of whatever this is a self-sabotaging kind of energy. Because it's like, there's so much positive energy here. There's a lot of abundance, a lot of happiness, a lot of satisfaction, spiritual love, good luck, protection from angels, if you want to use that sort of terminology. All of this positive energy, but then it's like fear creeps in, and it's like, what if this doesn't work? What if that person thinks I'm a weirdo? What if this, like, you know, like, what if they reject me? What if they think this is horrible? What if I've been like, you know, those kind of like self-sabotaging kind of thoughts, like, Strength and the 8 of Wands. I feel like it's a matter, and the Moon at the bottom of the deck, a matter of like getting your intentions very clear with the 8 of Wands, like only focusing on what your positive intentions are, trying to almost like, I wouldn't say ignore the fear, because the Strength card talks to me about like trusting your instincts as well, that the fear may actually be sort of like showing you something about energies that need to be cleared, perhaps from a past disappointment, that kind of thing. And getting your intentions clear on like what it is that you want to build or what it is you want to focus on. Or because with the Gnosis, it feels kind of like you're going to be stepping into territory where it's like new. no one else has done this, or no one else has tried this, or there are a lot of unanswered questions that I feel like you will be attempting to answer. Mysteries. There are mysteries that you will be solving together is kind of how it's coming through. It sounds like the beginning of some sort of like epic partnership is what is coming through with this. Okay. Immense growth, tame and attain, and the almost there card. I'm going to read the almost there one because I love the message that comes through with that one. Okay, almost there, the fox. In the blossoming spring season, little fox frolicked and skipped in the wild woods. As he played, his attention was constantly drawn to a distant light. The light glimmered deep in the forest, past the rumbling river. Although he couldn't quite make out what the light was, every bone in his body knew that it was meant for him, and his soul would spark with joy when he saw it. It was as if the light were a magnet calling out to him. But whenever little fox ventured towards the light, he was always abruptly stopped by the roaring river before him. Little fox would fall into despair, for he could not unite with the light that called him. Time went on, and spring became summer. Little fox would continue to catch glimpses of the light. Still filled with excitement and longing to unite with his beloved light, he would regularly attempt to reach it, only to again be blocked by the roaring river. More time passed, and as autumn approached, little fox grew and learned many lessons, yet he was still faced with an unquenchable thirst for the light. Little fox became distraught and angry towards life. He often cried out in sharp howls, forsaking life for presenting him with the beauty of light without allowing him to embrace it. He grew mistrustful that life did not have his best interests in mind, and increasingly became hardened and jaded. Autumn transformed into winter. By this point, little fox was big fox, but his heart was broken, for the only thing he ever longed deeply for was out of his reach. Big fox gave up. During the early winter months, Big Fox did what he had to do to survive, but he had a hole in his heart. He walked with his head low, for he could not bear to look up and see the out-of-reach light. One night, as Big Fox lay asleep, snow began to fall. When Big Fox awoke, he was taken aback at this new element he had never experienced. As he started this day, he saw a gaggle of geese standing on the river in the distance. Completely perplexed at how they were now standing on water, he approached the river with caution. He had learned through all the seasons of his life that he must be careful and cautious. As he put his paw in the water, he found it to be hard and sturdy. He gasped and thought, could this be the path to my light? Big Fox carefully crossed the hard water with deep awareness. He listened for the cracks and creaks in the hard water and scanned the sky for hawk approaching. As he crossed the river with extreme care, it dawned on him that if he were Little Fox, he would have run boldly across the hard water without a care in the world and could have been hurt or even killed. A shower of epiphanies began to rain on him. He realized that he had to go through all the seasons and learn all the lessons to be prepared to walk towards the light destined for him. As Big Fox finally crossed the great river, he thanked Mother Earth and Father Sky and understood that he had to wait to gain the wisdom that prepared him for crossing the great river. If there is something you yearn for in your heart and have been trying to achieve with little to no success, this is a profound confirmation that it is approaching. Be patient. There is wisdom in the waiting. This is the preparation time. You are gaining what you need to fully unite with what your heart desires. Endure, endure, endure. You're almost there. Group 3. There's something about there's time. Timing is important here. I feel like there's also something about the path hasn't been cleared yet, and in the process, you're learning lessons that will help you when it is time to cross the river. That kind of thing. So it's kind of like just focusing on what it is that you are learning at the moment with the Gnosis card, because sometimes it also comes through with like the information that you need at the moment will be presented to you when it's time. But you can't learn the lessons. You can't like skip ahead, right? It's like you need to learn the lesson that is presented to you right in this moment in preparation for what you will need when the time comes to cross the river, if that makes sense. So group 3, you're almost there. You keep going. I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.